What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, and finally back with some more Strung Out. And in that regard, big shout out to Paulie, as always, sharing a great deal of Strung Out with me, and by extension all of you, as well as some other punk bands and various pieces of music aside. But yes, we're going to listen to their 2004 album, Exile and Oblivion, though quick note, this is a 2025 reissue, and on the plastic covering, which I've already taken off, it noted that the songs here are remastered and in some cases remixed. So I'm seeing that as a remix, meaning like, you know, the levels, or they may have like used a slightly different chronology of the tune. So it is the 2004 album, Exile and Oblivion, but with 2025 remastering and in some cases remixing of the constituent songs. So yes, as I mentioned from the beginning of the Strung Out journey, I really only know them through the 1998 album Twisted by Design, and it's been really cool to hear what they did before that, although we still haven't gone back for the skinny years before we got Fat, before they signed to Fat Records. We shall do that at some point. But yeah, and also to hear what they've done after Twisted by Design, and this is the next step in the journey, although not the only thing that we have waiting from Strung Out, more on that coming. But yes, the first tune on the first side of their 2004 album, Exile and Oblivion, is Analog. So that, of course, refers to something that is with traditional technology or hardware, which is, you know, direct, a physical entity that creates whatever the sound is in this case. And, of course, it is not digital. It is the opposite of digital. Which side is side A? This is side B. This is side 1. Okay, yes, this is side 1. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, and I guess there's a nice symmetry to us listening to this album on vinyl, with the first song being called Analog. But yeah, I do wonder whether this is like a metaphor or like a conceptual framing for something that could be like personal, psycho-emotional, the idea of keeping it true to the original hardware, to the original method or technology, quote-unquote, not, you know, becoming digital or online or otherwise disconnected from the truly analog human is maybe what I'm thinking. I do believe there's a lyric sheet inside. It does look like it has small print, so I'll do what I can. My phone's actually off right now, my other phone, the one that I use, you know, sometimes to shine a flashlight, and I think it's going to need more charging, so I may have to try to go it alone without the assistance with the lyric sheet on this one. Nevertheless, let's give it a listen. This is Strung Out. The tune is Analog, and it's the first tune on their 2004 album, Exile and Oblivion, though once again, this is the 2025 remastered and remixed reissue. 33 or 45? This is clever.
Through the
opener, I mean, that's crazy. It's very much them sonically, meaning it's a hardcore punk rock tune with sonics that are right on the edge of metal, and definitely there's some sections where, it feels like we're listening to a like thrash metal tune, which is to say, like, thrash, there's thrash punk rock, thrash metal, they kind of have a shared history, like, or at the very least, there are a number of bands who are pioneering with the thrash sound who, like, some of their work is considered punk rock, other parts of their work is considered metal, and I feel like, again, this is kind of right on the edge of the two genres. I do love opening the album and the track Analog with this like 1930s throwback record, and it, I don't know what song that is. It sounds like it's a real like vintage song from 90 or so years ago or something, but it also has that kind of like, you can tell the record's been around a long time. It's got a bit of surface noise. It's not the like the most full and loud sounding. It really has a bit of a a record that's been around on the shelf for many, many years. And I knew the whole time, I was like, I had my hand on the volume because I knew, like, oh, they're going to come in hard right here. Like, it's going to keep playing this, and boom, they're going to come in. And that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I do love the vocals, at times more melodic, in many cases, very energetic and powerful, and like shouting, and in a couple cases, like, kind of screaming, doing that scream delivery. And the drums, my god, the drums, like sections with like crazy rolls, and then that one like, again, metal style section in the back half where it was, I think, like what they call double bass, like, that double kick drum rhythm, like the whole time for like 20-30 seconds, whatever it was. And yes, just really dynamic, energetic playing, and again, like crazy transitions between the measures, and like, shifting rhythms along the way. So like a very complex, like technical sound to the track, even as it is, thrashing and wicked at the same time. Lyrically, I don't really know what's happening. I do think I heard Analog in there, and there was like a, you'll go this way and I'll take the path less traveled and I'll meet you at the end, and I think it was like the end of time, and like, yeah, like there were bits and pieces that I caught, and maybe the idea is like, the path less traveled, as the narrator sees it, is the analog path. It is the more like original or like human path, but it's not what a lot of other people are choosing. But it does seem to suggest there's going to be some coming together, some congress at some point. So let me see what... Okay. I think I can maybe read this. Through the coolest haze of this dreamlike maze, it has begun, and all I wanted you near, it's an interesting line, with these wounds I bled, a perfect tone of red in isolation. Through the swollen eyes of the dying, and my waking dreams were all dying, to become what we swore we never would, okay? Yeah, and again, I like already, Analog, moving away from that, I get a sense of that, like at least, thematically. Now I watch and mourn a bloom. You take the way I'll take the road unknown. That's what it was. And meet you there at the end of time. Yep, we are frequency. We are tragedy. I heard the we are tragedy. I didn't realize the one before that was we are frequency. We are the love we need to keep us here. We are the dying. We are the hungry ones. We are the waiting, however faithful, or forever faithful. When I see you on the other side, I will not be the same as I was when I was yours. How I wanted you near. We are the dying. We are the lonely ones. I did hear that line. We are the haunted, forever waiting. And when I see you on the other side, and when I see we finally separate ourselves, and when I see you, the world we choose to leave behind, I will not be the same as I was when I was yours. So yeah, I don't know, the end of time and like, the other side, it does feel like we're talking about mortality maybe, and perhaps Analog is the physical, the human, the empirical life, and then, maybe the contrast of that is, the spiritual or the beyond or the unknown, and indeed, like taking the path unknown. So, yeah, maybe it is about death and perhaps the possibility of living beyond death, or at the very least, the idea of like the journeys we take to the end of time, even if that is like our personal end of time. That, again, very poetic lyrics, and lyrics that, speak to a narrator and an other. Now, that could be literally another person with whom he used to have a close connection, a relationship. It could also be like his former self. It could be, a spiritual, like he's speaking to a god or something like that. It feels like there's different ways to take it. And, I always compliment lyrics that are written very evocatively, but also in a manner that you could take different angles on them. And obviously, that means that when they filter through different brains might have like, oh, that reminds me of this in my life, or oh, I kind of see that in the light of this other thing I'm familiar with. So, yeah, they're the kind of lyrics that I think you could spend a lot of time discussing and debating. So, yeah, a very cool opening tune. Once again, thank you to Paulie for all that he has sent and for the patience as I've gotten back around to Strung Out now eventually. And I will try to go through this with relative celerity or speed. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Peace.